满场地的新能源，1万台车。
Now take a look at this field stretching to the horizon, glimmering with shiny electric cars. Thousands upon thousands of them just sitting there. No engines humming, no tires screeching, no YouTubers dancing on their hoods. Silent, motionless, forgotten. It's like a post-apocalyptic car dealership where no one showed up for the sales event of the century. These cars aren't broken. They're not relics of the past or casualties of a climate war. Nope. They're brand new, battery-packed, eco-friendly electric vehicles, rotting under the sun like yesterday's leftovers. And this isn't some avant-garde art installation or a secret Elon Musk experiment gone horribly wrong. This is China, the EV superpower that's supposed to be leading the global green revolution. So, what is going on here? China is the undisputed heavyweight champion of electric cars. The country produces over 50% of the world's EVs and dominates the battery supply chain like a monopoly player who just snagged Boardwalk and Park Place. From futuristic Teslas to those budget-friendly knockoffs with names you can't pronounce, they've got it all. But behind this glossy facade lies a dirty secret, quite literally. In cities like Hangzhou and Chengdu, bizarre car graveyards have started popping up, filled with electric vehicles abandoned by their owners or never driven at all. Think The Walking Dead. But instead of zombies, it's cars that refuse to move. China produced a mind-blowing 27 million cars in 2023 alone. Of those, over 7 million were electric. Yet, reports suggest that a significant chunk of these EVs never hit the road. Why? Because demand can't keep up with supply. Picture a kid who baked 50 cakes for a party that only 5 people showed up to. Sure, it's ambitious, but now you've got a sugar crash waiting to happen. And then there's the government. Chinese authorities subsidized EV production so heavily that manufacturers started churning out cars like bubble tea shops in a college town. The result? A surplus of vehicles nobody wanted or could afford. Here's where it gets juicier than a Thanksgiving turkey. China's EV subsidies were generous. So generous that some companies gamed the system. One infamous scam involved manufacturers producing thousands of cars, parking them in a lot, and never selling them. Why? Because they could still claim government cash for each vehicle they technically made. It's the corporate equivalent of writing your own Christmas bonus. Except instead of jingling bells, you get the deafening silence of rusting car frames. China's EV graveyards aren't an isolated phenomenon. They're just the latest chapter in the country's infamous love affair with Ponzi-like investment schemes. Remember the great bicycle apocalypse of 2018? Investors threw money at shared bike startups like it was a Black Friday sale. Soon, mountains of abandoned bikes were taking over cityscapes. Why? Because pumping out bikes, whether people wanted them or not, meant more investment money. And when the bubble burst, the companies vanished faster than free Wi-Fi signals in the subway. Fast forward, and the same thing is happening with electric cars. Let's not forget the irony here. Electric vehicles were supposed to save the planet, right? Lower emissions, clean energy, dolphins high-fiving each other in the oceans. But fields of unused EVs are now creating an environmental headache of their own. Batteries, those magical boxes of lithium and cobalt, don't decompose. Instead, they leak toxic chemicals into the soil over time, turning these car graveyards into slow-burning ecological disasters. It's like trying to fight climate change with climate change. So why should you care? After all, this is happening in China, not your backyard, right? Well, think again. China's dominance in the EV market means their hiccups send ripples through the entire global supply chain. For instance, surplus cars lower the price of EVs worldwide, but they also devalue existing vehicles. That shiny Tesla in your driveway, its resale value might tank faster than the stock market after a bad tweet from Musk. And let's not forget the wasted resources. The energy and materials used to make these cars could have powered something more useful, like, I don't know, an AI that doesn't ruin your group projects. China's obsession with being the global leader in everything, tech, green energy, TikTok dances, means they've been pushing the EV industry harder than your gym buddy on leg day. But when ambition overshoots practicality, you end up with, well, fields of electric regret. It's the classic bigger is better mentality gone rogue. Imagine if Leonardo da Vinci painted 10,000 Mona Lisas and then dumped them in a ditch because, whoops, he ran out of museums. That's essentially what's happening here. All right, let's address the elephant, or should we say the battery pack, in the room. This situation is both tragic and hilariously absurd. It's as if China decided to cosplay as an overzealous startup. What if we just make more cars than there are people to drive them? Genius! Meanwhile, you've got real problems that need solving, like building a better charging infrastructure or making EVs affordable for the average person. Instead, we're stuck with fields of cars waiting for a Netflix documentary to immortalize their rusting glory. So, the next time you hear someone hyping up the EV revolution, remember those fields of abandoned cars in China? They're not just a waste of resources, they're a reminder that innovation without strategy is a road to nowhere. What do you think? Are we charging toward a brighter future, or is this just a green-painted mess waiting to explode? Let us know in the comments below, and while you're at it, hit that like button before your EV battery dies.